Okay, it is time to continue. Now, last time I was talking about how my device started to behave erratically, it started to boot loop, it was crashing all the time, and that made me a little bit worried because I have a lot of videos on this thing. I mean, I have like hundreds of videos. I'll actually show you the mess that I have in my storage here in a second, but apparently my problems were caused by one application that I installed. Basically, I wanted to improve performance, and I was doing some software things with it, and it did improve performance. But after a week or so, the problems started to basically show up. And in order to not kill the device, I decided to uninstall that application. And ever since I've done that, well, the device has been back to normal for the most part. We'll still have to test out some things, and I'll have to do some backups as well. When I say backups, I have to basically copy the entire storage to my PC, just in case if it does indeed die, that I don't lose all the data. Anyway, that's just that little update on the whole performance problem that I had. Well, not performance problem, but on the whole crash problem that I had, like up until yesterday. Now, today I'll be doing something quite hilarious, and I actually decided to buy some new ships. Now, you might be wondering, well, what new ships can I possibly buy? And well, it will probably surprise you, and I think you probably already noticed what ships I'm talking about here. So I decided to do some hilarious things, and I bought a Veal, a Griffin, and I think I also bought a third one, but it's not in my station anymore. And I also have some low tier cruisers that I will find. I also bought the good old Talvar. Now this thing was my first ever PvP ship in the game, and I think it has some kill marks. It has about 16 kill marks. Yeah, that's the old school. If there is a old school ship, it's this one. Now I'm working on the skills, surprisingly, since I don't have a lot of small weapon skills now, but that's going to be changed, and I plan to use these things for low tier targets, so that that I have a fighting chance. And I think it should be quite hilarious to use these ships into PvP. Very cheap builds, extremely cheap. Everything is just ridiculously cheap. It's as cheap as it can be, and that's basically the purpose of all these ships. 170 DPS, and the insurance price is also ridiculously small. So that's the first ship that we'll see use. The second one is the Veal. I actually do like the Veal, and ironically I like this ship. It's a very interesting ship that I want to see. I want to see more variations of the Veal. A Veal fleet issue or a Veal 2 with more target painting stuff would definitely be welcomed. As you can see, yeah, I have to get my skills to match all of these ships. Now the Veal does have some use. It can have use. It's a very nice target painter ship, and it uses cannons, although I would prefer that this ship has missile launchers, since this thing is ridiculously fast, as I will show you. But it has 2 high, 2 medium, 2 low, 2 combat, and 2 engineering rigs. And well, the DPS, because of my non-existent small skills, is not that good. But again, this thing is fast, and its purpose is basically kiting. You rely on your range and speed to not take any damage. I actually imagine this ship as a kite, so that's why it has the armored extension rigs, and it has 17 kilometer range, which will be about 26-30 kilometers when I get my skills up and running. Let me actually show you how fast this thing is, because I think it's kind of hilarious to see the speed on this little ship, and I really want to have like more of these frigates with more variations, because they're very fun. And And let's see, 4.2 kilometers per second, its velocity, it's pretty speedy. And with the barrage implant active, its DPS is 126. That's flawless DPS. The nanocore is, let me see, it's the Moonstone 2 core with cannon thermal damage as the attributes. Overall, again, very cheap stuff.
Docking request accepted.
Very cheap, and the insurance in this is, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go broke if I lose this thing, that's for sure. Now, let me show you the other one. It's the Griffin. I think the Griffin isn't built yet, but the Griffin is a cavalry frigate that has a bonus on Gun Disruptor. So it's a very nice little boat to be used against. Yeah, it's not fitted. But let's take a look at its stats. So it has a bonus on Gun Disruptor damage strength and basically uses missiles. So it's a vehicle, but a missile vehicle, if that makes any sense. With only a different, with a different bonus. Now the thing that I think you will see in this video is the Vector train, and I'll also use some troll ships, because why the hell not, it's fun. And the DPS on this is not that bad. This is not my ship originally. I got this ship from a friend a long time ago, and haven't changed the build ever. It has a large energy neutralizer, and overall dual medium extenders and afterburner, so it's a passive tank ship. But overall, again, cheap, and I have the bombard tactic implant. It can be very useful. Now my favorite ship that you will see today is this thing, the Mahler bot. I love this thing. It is such a fun ship to fly. I said this before, but I really would be really nice if we had a Mahler 2 at tier 10 with more resistance and more damage and more modules. It would be one of the best cruisers in the game, hands down, and I would be all over this thing. But yeah, that's the ships that you will see today. There's more ships that I plan to fly, so definitely stay tuned for that. I might even go and fly the Venture. I think that's the next thing I'll do. So the Troll Venture, that's the next thing that I have to do. But in any case, time to undock and let's have some fun. Now what you're about to see is something that I wanted to do for a very long time, but never really had the chance and basically the time, and
warp drive active.
I never really had the opportunity to do this. So let's yeet. Let's just yeet the Griffin. Now when I recorded this, I had basically no skills for this. I usually don't have good skills for frigates because I don't usually fly them, so I basically skilled out
warp
of
drive active.
out of that. But as you could see in the start of the video, I'm slowly getting the skills back. So this will also be an example of what happens when you're flying a ship that you don't have skills for. Never fly a ship
active.
that you don't have skills for. Always fly stuff that you're skilled in, because you know, things like this, things like the thing you're about to see is going to happen. So we have a thorax, and now the first thing, this ship should have about 34 kilometer range with the small missiles. And I knew that, but one thing I forgot when I was recording this is the fact that I forgot that I had no skills for missiles, for small missiles. So my range on my missiles is going to be severely impacted. Second thing, I completely forgot that I have no defense skills for frigates, so my frigates would get torn to shreds by a single drone, which is what will happen here. Now this thing is fast. It's definitely no floating brick, but it could be fast. At this moment, I actually felt to warp out, but so let's just eat. Let's show what happens when you're flying something that you don't have skills for. And this is when I realized that I don't have skills for this ship. So I could have easily warped off, or I could easily just go and dock and take a different ship, which I'll do later. But I decided to take this as an example of what happens when you're flying the wrong ship. Well, not wrong ship, but when you're flying a ship with no skills. So, the thorax, I think they have a tracking recruiter or a rifled railguns, so yeah, they probably have enough range and tracking. And my tracking disruptor is also,
We're under attack.
well, I wouldn't say ineffective, but it definitely
Warp drive active.
would work better if if I was orbiting at my missile range. And of course, she popped. That's what happens, which is fine. I had such a good laugh when I yeeted this ship. I had so much fun, even if it doesn't sound like
Warp
I
drive
have fun now.
active.
I do have fun making this video, that's for sure. But I had such a good laugh when I yeeted that thing. And I'll do that a lot more often because I want to do something hilarious with these little ships. The little ships are good. Surprisingly,
request
I actually
accepted.
enjoy flying them. So I'll definitely do more silly stuff with it. But let's take the Mallet and let's return. Since the Mallet is a cruiser that I love to fly. It's a ridiculous ship that can tank a ridiculous amount of damage. I say ridiculous amount of damage. My friend made the Mallet tank 6,000 DPS.
Undocking.
And not the Guardian one, this one, the tier 6 one. So these things are definitely one of the best low tier ships that money can buy. And I would say the Mallet might very well be much better than the Starboard Fleet in some cases, although the Starboard Fleet is one of my favorite cruisers because I'm just very attached
Warp
to
drive
the ship
active.
for various reasons. So that ship also has a very special place in my fleet. I have a Starboard Fleet here that I plan to fly a lot more. I actually killed a Macarial with it. I killed a Macarial and I think a Balgon with a Starboard Fleet. I did some ridiculous stuff with that ship. I love it. So maybe the Thorax or the left, maybe not. We're about to find out anyway.
Warp drive active.
I'm going in regardless. The other rank 6 ship that I also want to fly, I think it's the MOA. One of the MOAs, the trainer or the rank 6 one. Also a very good ship, can have some scary DPS with blasters and with high power call. But we will go back to that ship in a different
Warp
video.
drive active.
Right now I'm honestly having a blast with these small ships now. With small ships, with low tier ships. They're the Thorax, but we're a bit far away. Maybe I should have equipped a micro warp drive. Oh well, regardless, I'll go in. Now you can actually dock and undock and warp with Criminal Timer as long as you don't touch any module. If you undock and click the module, the sentry guns will kill you. So you can undock with a different ship and basically go back to the mission. But you must wait for the ship to enter warp before you do anything with the modules. And they also have warp drive, which is fine. But we will have a round 2. Don't worry, we will have a round 2. Let's look at the loss mail. 6.3 million. Oh no, I'm going to be broke from this loss mail. That's for sure. That's the most expensive PvP loss of the year, at least in my case. That was fun regardless. That was hilarious. Anyway, I said that we'll have round 2, and round 2 it is. Where is the Mallet? There is the Mallet. Okay, let's jump in. 1 IP, by the way. That's just ridiculous. 1 IP. That's lovely. Okay, orbit set at about
Undocking.
5 kilometers. Well, I'll definitely adjust that further down the road with the Mallet. And let's go back to the Thorax. They have made their way back in another scout anomaly or a different. I actually have no idea
Warp drive active.
which anomaly it is. Yeah, it's a scout anomaly. Okay. I have no nano core for the Mallet. Maybe I will get one for extra armor or extra armor repair. I don't know. Would be ridiculous to have more armor repair on this thing. Would definitely eat this thing at battlecruisers and battleships if that's the case, because it can tank them. The only problem is stabs. The reason why I usually fly the ships that I usually fly is
Warp
mostly
drive
stabs,
active.
because I have to either kill the target before they warp off or prevent them from warping, and for that I need a specific ship. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. And that's the thing that annoys me the most, to be honest. Alright, there is the thorax. Still quite close, going in. Scrambled or not. Scrambled and webbed. Drone is out. We'll use
We're under
the
attack.
approach option, because I don't want to orbit and lose accuracy, because for some reason the accuracy does drop with this thing. When this thing orbits, the Mallard is still not that slow, although it is slow but not as slow.
We're under attack.
6 kilometers. Actually, you know what? I'll buy a Rupture when I log in next time. I'll buy a Rupture and
Shield damaged.
use the Rupture as a barrage DPS ship. Should be quite hilarious, honestly. Okay, now I'm in armor. The target is also in armor, but they're repairing. They have a very decent armor repair, I'll say. But my armor repairs are much better, that's for sure. I can technically tank with only one active, or occasionally using the repair on and off, but I have a lot of capacitor. I have a large capacitor battery in this thing, so capacitor is absolutely not a problem on the Mauler. Look at how much capacity you get from activating this thing, it's just insane. Well, there we go. When it comes to cruiser versus cruiser, that's where I'm almost unmatched. I think I'm basically maxed out on all cruisers for... Well, I have to actually check the rigs, the skills out. But I believe I have every single
Warp
cruiser
drive active.
related skill on level 5, even the expert one. Because, well, I simply love cruisers. That's just, you know, self-explanatory, to be honest. I just love cruisers, so I have them maxed out. Alrighty then, let's see what type of build they had. I'm fairly sure they have a tracking computer, but let's find out. 133 mil, oh, that's not bad, decently sized thorax. Well, at least the build is not cursed. The build is okay. I like it. That was fun. That was fun. Okay, let's go to the next target. The bot Mahler is unleashed. A second time. Let's warp to the target. We have a Caracal Navy. I actually thought that this ship looked ugly, but now I actually kind of like how it looks. It kind of looks menacing, honestly. I don't know. The Mallard definitely has a very interesting design. I love it. Well, now I love it, but I used to say that it looks ugly. Now this Caracal isn't really close to the mission or anomaly. They're actually at distance. So I'll warp at about 30 kilometers and just hope that they are within range. I mean, that's just how it goes. I don't have any Alpha to scout at the moment, or I don't have anyone else to scout for me at the moment. So I have to rely on everything that I've learned in the game and in EVE Online for the past like 20 years. So that's just how it goes. I can just bring my alt here, but yeah, I just don't want to do that at the moment. Alright, there is the Caracal, 50 plus kilometers away. That's far away, but I will approach afterburner is on. Now I forgot to turn on my tactical overview, which is a big fail. You always have the tactical overview enabled because it will actually, you know, allow you to see things that you usually can't see, like the trajectory, distances and stuff like that. So I made that little, I forgot to basically turn it on, so that's on me. but I'll still try to approach with the... Well, I actually approached it. Surprisingly, I actually expected them to warp off, but okay. Scrambled, webbed, and now time to yeet the Caracal Navy. Usually the Caracal is a shield tank. It should be a shield tank, with the exception of the Caracal Sniper, which can be a armor tank as well. But this Caracal doesn't seem to have any tank, so I would assume a long-range kite build from what I'm seeing here. Unless I see them repair armor and boost shield, then that's the moment I throw my phone at the wall. Right, let's take a look at the kill. Well, it seemed like it had oh no, a small booster. I have a very bad feeling about this. I have a very, very bad feeling about this. Well, let's warp out. I have a bad feeling about this. I mean, the medium booster shouldn't be that expensive. It should really be inexpensive, to be honest. Like 100,000 ISK on the market, that's quite affordable. That's really affordable. Like one low tier mission and you can buy that easily. Not really sure why would anyone use a small module on a medium sized ship, but let's align myself to the station. Let's take a look at the kill. 62 meters, so it was a long range. Oh no, a small booster. A medium repair and a small booster. The curse combo. Oh no. Well, don't fit your ship like that. It's cursed. Next we have a tornado. Now let's be a bit more serious and let's fly some more serious ships like the Stratius, for example. Now I return to the Stratius. I love this thing after all. I can't really just, not fly it. So it's the best tackle ship, sneakiest cruiser, best tackle ship. And overall, I have good skills for it. I have an implant for it, so might as well use it. So our first target with the Stratius today will be a tornado. Now this tornado has no warping, but I'll show you a little trick. Now if you warp at 100 km and if the target hasn't moved much from the original position, you can just warp. You can just double warp to them. Just open the scan window again, click on the ship, click on the signal, and click warp to 0. If it is about 150 kilometers, your ship will automatically warp to their last known position. Now they are moving. They're definitely moving. They have moved 20 kilometers from the moment of when I scanned them down. They also have a nanocore, and they're also using large artillery cannons. Now, I have a micro warp drive, which is bad because I usually have an afterburner when I'm engaging a long-range battlecruiser. Afterburner will maintain your speed tank even if you're triple webbed against one of these ships. But a micro warp drive in this case can be also useful if I want to tackle them at a further distance, so I can quickly close the distance when I decloak. But this tornado made a fatal mistake of actually going towards me. Well, going towards me, our trajectories almost matched, and they kind of flew right in my ship. So I have scrambled them, I have rammed them so that if they had stabs, now the stabs are completely useless since they're completely disaligned. And one of my drones here, well, two of my drones actually did not want to engage, which is something that you don't want to have happen when you're engaging a ship like this. But the tornado got destroyed. Let's loot the wreck and let's warp out. I have a very interesting build for this Stratius. It's kind of different from what I usually have, and I'm very excited to actually share the build on this thing. I think it could be theoretically very very good and very fun to fly. Alright, let me show you the kill. That's the next thing that I have to do here. And this is surprisingly a expensive tornado, 1.1 billion, which is, you know, on a higher end when it comes to price. Also was PvP ready, looks like a kite PvP ship. And the reason why it's expensive, well, look at the rigs. They had some expensive integrations on this thing. And it did feel a bit more tanky than usual, so overall very interesting build, but the Stratios is still the Stratios, and the Stratios yeets. So yeah. Now next target we have a Daredevil. The Stratios is literally one of the best anti-frigate ships in the game. If you have a frigate, most of the ships, by the time they land, the frigate is warping off, because, you know, they're very good. Frigates are very good for PvE. They're very good for low sec, and they're surprisingly very good for storylines, because you can easily warp off and you can easily get the scan of notification if someone is scanning. So your chance of survival are very high if you know what you're doing. However, some of the ships, like the Stratios, can be a problem, although a Stratios is still going to have some issues scanning down a frigate. In order to scan down a frigate, you would have to have a Astro alt. The only way, basically, to scan down a frigate while retaining some form of decent performance of your DPS ship. Well, in my case, my Stratios isn't really a scanning ship. The Astro is, and with the Astro I scanned down the Daredevil, and now I'm slowly approaching. Now with the Stratios, you have to be careful not to get decloaked by anything. You have to be careful about any object that can be around. A Daredevil can be a problematic little ship, because they can web you and basically make your ship a immobile brick. So my idea here, and basically how I should be tackling this ship, is wait for the Daredevil to be as close as possible to me, decloak, rush towards them with the macro overdrive, and then basically web them down and scramble them and kill them before they can take range or before they can do anything else. Now that cruiser wreck is close, and I have to be careful around that. But the Daredevil is close in distance to me, and yeah, they're flying very close to me. Very, very close. The time is, yeah, let's just wait for single digits, and there we go, single digit acquired. Let's web and scramble the Daredevil. Focusing fire, webbed and scrambled. Daredevil in armor. And Daredevil destroyed. That was a nice kill. Usually, by the time they react to your ship, and it was a very nice loot drop, by the way. Some juicy drops there. Predator web, I'll take it. Usually, by the time they see the Stratios, it's already too late. This is why this thing is so lethal. This is also one of the reasons why the drone bombs need to be nerfed, because the Stratios with drone bombs is 100% lethal. It's going to kill the ship, the average ship and the above average ship in like 99.9% of cases, because it just slaps so hard it's not even funny. A proper tank ship can live, but how many proper tank ships we have in the game? Well, we have a lot, but how many are properly built? Yeah, that's the problem. This is a decently sized Daredevil, very happy with the loot drop. Some juicy stuff has dropped for sure. 298 million ISK, I'll take it. Nice. Some decent ISK income today, that's for sure. Okay, next target we have, I think we have a Macariel. Well, I'm in a Macariel. I'm not the target, but the other Macariel is the target. They're at 0, and didn't seem like they have an nanocore or anything like that. In any case, I'm yeeting.
Warp drive
I
active.
really want to go and yeet a cruiser at a Macariel, to be honest, or a frigate, but I'm usually worried about stabs. I would kill battleships all day long with frigates and cruisers if stabs weren't a thing. But since stabs are a thing, I just have to go and take a ship that can basically delete the other ship in a very short amount of time. Right, Macariel has been scrambled and webbed. Barrage implant engaged. Macariel seems to be a shield tank. Now we are in armor. My Mitsk Rambler didn't want to turn on for some reason, but I did manage to turn it on. And well, the Macariel was in hull and Macariel was destroyed.
We're under
Beautiful.
attack.
And some decent loot as well. Nice. Well, let's prepare
We're
to
under
warp out.
attack.
After the pod has been eliminated, because you never know what they have docked in the system. And this gives me basically some extra time to dock
We're
if
under
necessary. Okay,
attack.
let's warp out and then I will take a look at the kill. Should
Warp
be
drive
a good one.
active.
I just have, you know, it's funny. When I sense a expansion ship, it usually is a expansion ship, and that's kind of funny because my accuracy when it comes to that is very very high, and yeah, that's just how things are, I guess. With experience, with skill comes that feeling, and that feeling is usually, in my case, very accurate. Now let's take a look at the kill here. 3 billion, not bad. Very good loot drop. I got most of the autocannons there. Was a shield tank Macari with a micro warp drive, and oh no. What kind of integration is that? A cargo holder integration, really? That's Alright, let's go to the last target for today. I think we have a Vindicator. For that I'll definitely pick up my Macari, although usually, I mean, I really miss when I was dropping the Ortus at these battleships. The Ortus is
Undocking.
such a good anti-battleship cruiser, it's insane. That thing is just absolute gold, and I will have to find a solution to stabs, I guess. Although I know for a fact that when I do drop the Ortus at a battleship that is going to be stabbed, so I guess it comes down to my luck. In any case, let's warp to
Warp drive
the
active.
Vindicator and let's see what happens. Should be interesting. For some reason my modules were all over the place, and that's kind of annoying in some cases, but I'll just have to deal with it. Okay, there's the Vindicator. Very nice warping, very close to the Vindicator as well. Let's approach. Locked, everything overheated, and now let's see what happens next. Now, based on the amount of damage that I'm doing to the Vindicator, it looks like a shield tank. Independent ships can do both armor or
Enemy
shield,
ships
but never both at the
detected.
same time. I usually leave that up to player preference. I personally like
We're
to have them
under
as a
attack.
armor tank. In any case, this Vindicator is now in
We're
low
under
armor.
attack.
Now they're in hull. And the Vindicator
We're
is
under
destroyed.
attack.
That was a very nice kill. And a very juicy
We're
loot
under
drop as
attack.
well, I'll take it. Always nice when a good
We're
loot
under
drops.
attack.
Well then, that was a very nice little run today, that's for sure. Could
Warp
have
drive active.
probably caught a bit more ships, but yeah, my device wasn't really working well, and we'll have to do a lot of more testing to see if I actually solved the problem or if I actually damaged it beyond repair, but that's something that I'll just figure out as time goes on. Let's take a look at the kill here. 3.1 billion, not bad. Excellent loot drop, by the way. Very decent ISK value out of that, and yeah, so far that was definitely a good kill. And with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. If you would like to support me, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, stay safe, fly safe. As always, I'll see you next time.